dough, fresh out the oven, ready to run. What's hot this week at Jeff's Bagel Run? Jeff and Aaron bring the fun. It's the weekly run, let's get it. The weekly run from Jeff's Bagel Run.
Welcome to the Weekly Run. I'm Jeff.
I'm Aaron.
And we are talking about what's hot at Jeff's Bagel Run. And this week, pumpkin season is still on my mind because we've officially launched and the bagels are there, the cream cheeses, the coffees, all the deliciousness. And it makes me wonder, like, who decides when fall starts?
I think it depends on, I think categorically, there's a couple of different people that are part of this decision-making process. If you're talking about retail stores, fall starts in August when they have to turn over lines, right? Like the bathing suits are out, by, a couple of weeks after 4th of July. So I saw Halloween candy in the grocery store the other day. So I know that they're already well on their way. But yeah, when do you get to decide? When is the time? It's not on the official calendar.
So if we're talking about like solstice to solstice, equinox to equinox, so I mean, like, we're like 30 something days away from the actual start of autumn, the season.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's September 21st or 22nd. So we're about a month away from the physical change on the planet.
Well, and as a transplant from the Northeast to Florida, I would argue that it never really happens. So
no, we have
there's that too.
There's like 3 seasons, right? Hot, hotter, hottest here.
Yes,
that's it.
Exactly.
In the Northeast, they mark the calendars by Labor Day.
This is true. We it's very much driven by, we're very big in our transitions, and it's like you need a nice holiday to sort of mark, like, okay, before this holiday, it's it's this time, and then boom, it's done. Because the weather will sort of cheat you as well. You might get sort of an extended summer, and there's air quotes there about, like, again, comparative summer, but generally the weather turns pretty distinctly. It's like you get a couple of nice, it's the opposite from here. We just get a couple nice, a little bit hot, and then it's cold, and colder.
Yeah, so I feel like every year pumpkin seems to start a little earlier, and we were about a week behind Dunkin' Donuts and I think Panera Bread as a brand. Starbucks officially launches their menu tomorrow, or maybe
late.
Yeah, so we record Monday, so they were launching on Tuesday the 25th. So we're a day ahead of Starbucks, but it feels wrong. I love it, and I know you are a pumpkin guy. I almost called you a pumpkin girly, but
sure.
You're like, you love pumpkin. You're like here for this season. You probably already got your pumpkin pie bagel for the day, and you're ready to get it every day this week. But like you don't care when it starts. You just glad it does.
Yes, but there is a limit. We haven't found it yet. I'm good for this week. I will I'll go eat pumpkin this week. So let's not pretend that we've reached the limit. But I do theoretically, I believe in a theoretical limit where we can take it too far. So I also really like peppermint. Love peppermint. At Christmas, I love candy canes, just to be, explicit about it. But I have no interest in eating a candy cane outside of November and December, and then maybe a little bit of a candy cane hangover in January, right? Just because you've got them still left over for Christmas. But come February, I'm done. So outside of those 3 months, I really don't want candy canes, but I can't get enough of them during Christmas. And I feel like pumpkin's the same sort of thing. If I'm at the beach and you're trying to feed me pumpkin, I don't know if I'm ready for it.
I didn't know you liked peppermint.
Yes. Love it.
Wow.
Candy canes. I mean, I like
candy canes specifically.
I like peppermint in general, but I love candy canes at Christmas explicitly.
Okay.
So clearly I am a seasonal flavor person. I don't know. There's a deeper analysis there, but there's a point when it's too early.
I feel the same way about s'mores. I feel like the s'mores
are all the time.
No, they're not. They're campfire. They're like summer. Like to me, s'mores are like quintessential summer. Out by a campfire.
Really?
doing
Interesting.
marshmallows, chocolate. Yeah. So like it's hard
So
for me
you
to
don't
get.
get s'mores when wait, I don't know, like when is an off season? When is s'mores out of bounds for you?
I think s'mores start to go out of bounds in October.
Into like after October, you can't have
Like
s'mores.
as we start to get into like the Halloween, like the full blown Halloween season, I feel like s'mores are sort of out.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a powerful statement.
But you're also not going to find me like asking you for a candy cane in September either. So that's fair. So I don't know.
I never thought of it. So that's an interesting thought then. Kind of going back to your original point. Who, like, is this just our collective consciousness as a society sets these down and then we pick these dates? Or is this a retail thing? Is this
Well,
a Hallmark?
this is where my head went when I was thinking
Yeah.
about like the pumpkin launch starting today. And, this is pumpkin season. Is there actually demand for it? Or did the retail industrial complex create it?
Mm. Well, let me ask you this. Like, if you were offered pumpkin in March, would you eat it? Or does it have to, let me reframe. Does everything else have to be there? Is it the leaves decorate? Is it the fall sort of decor that starts to pop up? Is it everybody, wearing their fall clothing? Is it the rest of the vibe around it that makes it something that you want? Or is it just because it's delicious that you want it? Would you eat pumpkin in March? Is my question. And like it. And, I mean, obviously it's a good bagel, whatever. And like we've eaten pumpkin in March because you do recipe
Yeah.
testing so far in advance. But would you be like, yeah, I'll have some pumpkin items?
So we have some personal experience with this because we do test bagel flavors and we take pictures and all the stuff that we have to do for the marketing side of it. So we ate bagels back in like April, pumpkin
We
bagels
did.
back in April.
And they were great.
And they were delicious, but they felt out of place.
Did it? Did it
felt
feel
like
out of
it
place
was
for you?
wrong. Like,
It felt pretty
we're-
right to me. I don't know. You can watch the video, but I was pretty. I was not conflicted during
you
that
ate a lot of
tasting at
bagels
all.
that day.
Yeah,
You
I
ate a lot of
did.
bagels that day.
Not conflicted, but I
Had
do.
there been spoons, you might have just taken the cream cheese straight away.
But your point is valid. I think in the question of like, does it feel right? Is a lot of what makes it special the rest of it when it takes place? When you're having these things. And this isn't the only zone that we do this in, right? Everybody's trying to always force chocolates and strawberries on you in February, and then that
Why do you
creeps in
only have
like,
to eat healthy in January?
yes, well, a lot of regret at the end of the year it rolls over,
Too
mainly
many
the
Christmas,
driver.
too many Christmas cookies. But why can't you make Christmas cookies in the middle of the summer?
Okay, now that's crazy. I mean, just to
Oh,
pause on that for a second. I couldn't even imagine having like a sugar cookie, like
like
a
a
classic.
cookie cutter, like gingerbread guy shaped sugar cookie with some icing and decorate like a whole. You could no.
We're no way. I'm just realizing now that we're really uncovering a lot of food based stuff about me. I absolutely love gingerbread. I just like holiday. Apparently, this seasonal flavor thing is just me. I'm learning a lot about myself on the pod, more than I really, set out to do when we started this. But yeah, I love gingerbread a lot. And during the holidays, we always make gingerbread cookies, and I eat more than anybody should. And I don't really crave it the rest of the year.
So that's an interesting thought process because I believe that craving component might have something to do with how much you overdo it in the season.
Could be. There's definitely overdoing it. That is an accurate description of what happens.
So I think having been a retailer for 20 plus years and then moving into this bagel space where I'm working through seasonal flavors throughout the course of a year, I think we as the retailer, as the producer of said goods, dictates the broader idea of a flavor profile. And it starts with, you made a really good point earlier. If you're a manufacturer and all summer long you're producing a widget that is for enjoyment during a season that is 90 degrees and sunny with an afternoon rainstorm, and you have to flip that line over in time to have a widget for the fall that might not meet the same requirements, at some point you've got to like flip the switch and do the thing so that your product can make it to market. I feel like that has been backed up over time, right? Like, to your point, I saw Halloween candy weeks ago in stores. And if you go into a Michael's or a Joann's, RIP.
I like Joann Fabrics.
I like Joann Fabrics. If you go into like a Michael's or you go into like a Hobby Lobby, what other places are left? Kirkland's, TJ Maxx, they're going to have all this like decor.
It's fall.
It's been fall for weeks.
Now, so that we can have some old guy talk for a minute on this topic, because we can both say, I remember when, and have that mean more than like 3 years ago. Now that we've seen a couple of seasons, each of us, we can say the typical thing. Every year it gets earlier, and there's some truth in that. From one year to the next, maybe not as much, but from the standpoint of like trying to remember growing up when these things were, I mean, Halloween candy in August is insane compared to 15 years ago, as an example. And so at what point does the race to merchandise and the race to beat the competition just get ridiculous? Where's our limit as a society?
Okay, I would like to hypothesize that when people started selling goods online, it forced brick and mortar retail to compete, because those goods just weren't available in stores based on logistics timelines, shipping.
I see.
Like, as a retailer, I worked at Target for 2000 and like, actually I started like there in 1998. So like 1998 to like 2011, I worked at Target. And our first seasons where Christmas trees were coming out, like during Halloween, wasn't really happening until the mid 2010s.
So really e-com
is, I think, pushed this narrative faster, because we would have a Halloween set in our Target stores, an elaborate, like, the only place you see this kind of elaborate Halloween set now is at like Lowe's or Home Depot, where they got all the blow-ups and all the stuff. My kids love going and walking through there. You used to get that at Target. Target does it somewhat now, but they do it in a way that is made for quick turn versus made for like great window dressing or a beautiful display that would inspire you to decorate or buy more. And in years past, a long, long time ago, in a land far away when I was 20 years younger, we would do what we called the 48-hour set. And Halloween night, we'd have a team come in and tear down the main Halloween decorations and put up the Christmas tree flat, trees fully decorated. And then the next day, overnight, you would knock down all those other aisles of candy and decor, and it would become ornaments and wreaths and all that stuff. And it was November 1 to like right up until like you started running out of that stuff, like the week before Christmas, that you'd start to consolidate. But I really feel like it was like right when e-com started their major presence. And I can't even say like Amazon, because I think Amazon was selling that stuff back in the late 90s. It just wasn't as like prevalent.
I'm curious your thoughts. Maybe not so much for food, but certainly in your experience at retail. Because I think a big part of that too is that you've got a desire to always be a little bit bigger and a little bit better year after year. And so now you're looking at this window that we call fall, that really, at least here in the States, right? You're running this gauntlet of Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, all fairly unique, honestly. And especially between Halloween and then the combo of Thanksgiving and Christmas, which are a little easier to group. But like, you've got to run that gauntlet over like a 75-day period, essentially, maybe 90 days. And so, and then you're always making these bigger and more elaborate things. It's like, how do you get value out of staging something for 3 weeks. So the only way to go is to go forward and be like, let's start the whole thing earlier. And then everybody gets a longer window of being there. And now you're in a situation where it's, early September and you got to put all the Halloween stuff out because quite frankly, that stuff's coming down the week of Halloween.
It's coming no
Because
matter what,
Thanksgiving's
right?
going to come up.
You're going to have to, it's probably actually, but I would say it's August. I almost said it's on clearance. But it's probably already on clearance by the middle of September.
Yeah.
Or deeply discounted. Deeply discounted.
If you haven't done it, you're not doing it. So then bringing that back to food, why does food do that then? We don't have the same sort of requirements. Is it because the LTOs associated with these things are so different that we have to, all the marketing and all of is it equivalent, I guess, but different? And just the amount of switchover that needs to take place to sort of run this 3-holiday gauntlet?
I'm not sold on it though that people actually want it. We might be putting it on them, but I don't know that they want it.
So, well, that's what I'm wondering I guess what
I'm trying to say is next year, could we do pumpkin season in September and nobody would care? Besides you.
We do pumpkin season right though, because it's not a 3-week LTO or 2-week LTO. Obviously the bagel of the days rotate, but we sit in pumpkin for a while. It's really, which I think that's nice. It's it's on the menu for the rest of the year. I just sort of cruise through, and give or take, but you kind of cruise through and you have it, it's available. So it wouldn't bother me if it started a little bit later because I know I've got the whole season. But if it were a fly-by-night thing where it's I get 3, and this is, I'll give, other people in the space, this is where, Starbucks has always done it well, is, they put their classic there, they put their PSL on the menu and it just sits there. And it sits there. I mean, you can always get one, but they push it, heavy for the entire season.
Well, do they have it? We have pumpkin spice on our menu.
You can get it at our store at any time too.
Year round. Can you do that at Starbucks or Dunkin'? I think they phase out pumpkin. I don't think you can get it except for...
See, this is the conversation. I've never tried. I've never been
because
sitting
there. You don't want it.
I've never been sitting there in April saying to myself, "Ugh, what hit the spot right now is PSL." Never.
So I had to know if this was a thing. And so I pulled some really rudimentary sales data just from a unit
Do you
count.
do some live research?
I'm doing live research because I had to know.
This is amazing. It's the first time.
Are people who are pumpkin spice fans just drinking it year round? And are those units that we're selling on a monthly basis to the same people? And then as we get into, as you get into August and September and deeper into the season, you capture folks like Aaron who aren't going to drink it in April, but is definitely going to drink it every time he goes into a store this time of year.
It's an interesting question. And it also opens up another question in my mind around, is a lot of this really just holiday vibes to make you feel in the mood, but you're still going to order whatever you order? So I'll ask you this question. Pretend you're one of those people that's not really swayed by the LTOs. If a brand completely ignored the seasons and said, we're not going to participate, we're not going to even acknowledge fall as a season with special pumpkins and maples and all that stuff. It's just our menu every day. Think of your pizza shop, Jeff. The local pizza shop is not doing, fall flavors. It's just still pizza. So as a consumer, do you want the vibe to go along with your normal order?
Aaron, I love this question so much because I think that if we didn't have a pumpkin season on the menu, I think because everyone else is doing it, it negatively impacts our business, and guests will seek that out somewhere else. Yes, in a way that would be detrimental. There would be a pitchforks and whatever down the main street of Jeff's Bagel Run, screaming, "Where's my pumpkin bagel? Where's my pumpkin cream cheese?" Right? So I think we've conditioned ourselves to be there to get to that component. If it wasn't there, I think it would be negative to the business. And I haven't seen it at my local pizza place. Other restaurants that I frequent, where I am pretty much going to eat the same thing every time I go, I see them introducing fall-inspired items.
But is that important to you as somebody that's not going to order them? That they're having like
But
a
I might
fall
order it. I
theme?
might try. Like when I go, okay, so my favorite Italian restaurant in Orlando is Ravello. And when I go to Ravello, if I go there probably next month, because I don't think they'll do it this week. It's August. So almost September. If I go there in September and have dinner for my birthday, because it's kind of like a special occasion joint, they're probably going to have a pumpkin ravioli on the menu. And I'm going to eat that.
Pumpkin ravioli is delicious, though.
I'm going to eat that. I'm going to order that, and I'm going to eat that, and I'm going to enjoy it but they're not going to offer pumpkin ravioli when it's out of season. Now, I guess the real question is, did the seasons happen because that's when plants were actually bearing fruit for us to eat it and consume it? Because we eat a lot of summertime stuff that's fresh and ripe in the summertime.
I think when you look at things like pumpkin, maybe, but there's no, like, ginger's not available at Christmas time. Like, there's no linkage there. That was just somewhere along the way that recipe got attached.
Someone just said, hey, let's make this sweet molasses cookie with ginger and see if anybody eats it.
Yeah. I mean, somebody cut it into, they became a fairy tale, and, then the rest is history. So I think it's half and half. I think some of obviously, gourds that in the fall is probably conditioned for us. But, and strawberries in the spring, well, not even spring, like a little bit earlier than that, but like, strawberries at the beginning of the year.
Strawberries are actually primarily predicated on temperature for when they bloom the best. So we get them in January, February in Florida, but Washington State apparently has an incredible strawberry season in the middle of the summer. Like,
so I wonder if that's weird for them. Like,
I think we're so used to buying our food from wherever it's ripe that we are just expecting food to be delicious all the time.
Well, certainly where we live down here, where there's just no, like, even regionally, we can grow our food year round for the most part.
I only think about this because my algorithm has put me into giant pumpkins recently.
You mean like competition pumpkins?
Like competition pumpkins, yeah.
Excellent.
And so I've been watching farmers grow giant pumpkins over the course of the last 2 or 3 weeks. And I'm catching up because they started this, last fall, really. As soon as the season ends, they start over. And the way they grow these pumpkins is fascinating. Massive. 1,500, 1,600 pound pumpkins, Aaron. That's like a car.
I don't even know how you will that into, I don't know. I guess it's just.
I can connect you with a couple accounts on TikTok that'll show you the way. It's it's fascinating. It's fascinating. Oh, it's so good. Maybe I can figure out how to link show notes or something, and I can put some of my favorite giant pumpkin accounts in this pod. But
it's important work.
One of them just recently, I was really sad. It formed a crack, and it's no longer. It's not going to make it.
They lost it. Could you imagine being 9 months into growing this thing and then having something happen?
And he put it on the scale. He weighed it anyway. 1,505 pounds.
That's insane.
It was competition ready. And
that's a lot. That's a lot of bagels. That make a lot of bagels.
That's so much pumpkin. So much pumpkin.
So I guess I have another question as we think about this. So yes, I think we've identified, we've solved it here that the time can move and we can be conditioned. I don't think we can be conditioned fast, but over time we can definitely be conditioned to sort of move these when we as an audience start wanting these things. Can they be manufactured from zero? is the real question. So can we create, a lot of people are upset cucumber dill is sunsetting. That people have loved that spread, twice now. So like, can we create a cucumber dill season? Is that something that can be manufactured?
I think you can create energy around a product. I don't know that cucumber dill has a season, but I think
we can't make people crave it in July. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if we bring it back, maybe we bring it back in March and just let it be there for 3 or 4 weeks and see we'll have to try that. See what the feedback sounds like in March. So much of it is because I think we're just societally conditioned to eat certain things at certain times. And that goes for pumpkin in the fall, that goes for ripe berries in the summertime, it goes for ice cream after dinner. Like, who said you have to eat ice cream after dinner? Why not have dessert first?
I actually have a funny story about that. If there's a minute here. So,
we got time.
So I was in this business meeting. This is a couple of years back, and one of my colleagues is a bit of a prankster, and so we're at this business dinner. It's a smaller group. Let's say there's like 12 of us, and there's some clients at this dinner, and we're ordering for the table, and they're ordering appetizers or whatever. And I happen to comment, I really like bread pudding, so I was like, "Oh, cool, they have bread pudding here." This prankster friend of a colleague of mine hears this, and so he somehow contacts the waiter and orders me bread pudding with ice cream a la mode to come in with all the appetizers. So the waiter comes out and I see it coming. I'm like, oh, I knew he got me. So they're putting down, cheese curds and wings and all these traditional appetizers. And then in front of me is a full plate of bread pudding and ice cream. And I'm sitting right next to one of our clients. And he was talking to somebody else and then like double takes me and I rebooted his brain. He's like, did you just order dessert to start the meal? And of course I got to lean in now. I can't give this guy the win. I'm like, yeah, of course. Yeah. And then I just ate my bread pudding at the start of the meal. And it really made me question, to your point, why does it have to go in a certain order? Why can't we start with dessert? It was delicious.
Tastes better. Dessert tastes better when you're hungry.
It didn't ruin my meal at all. Now, I will say that it really did preclude my hot swapping between the wings and bites of my bread pudding. That wasn't happening. That wasn't going to be a good mix. But yes, it does beg the question.
Everybody else orders dessert and you're like, I'll take those mozzarella sticks now. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that's a power move if you ever want to, just, flip it up. Now, we didn't get that business, so maybe it's not the best move to make. It was brought up on a later call. Like, you wouldn't believe this. Their CTO, we're going to order dessert to start the meal. So it stuck with them. It was a moment.
Like, this guy is over here crushing bread pudding a la mode while I'm eating like a chicken wing. I don't know if I can do business with these people.
Guy's crazy. I mean, it's a 50-50 shot. Could have gone either way.
It might have been the move that landed the deal.
You never know. You never know.
I mean, we do know, but
well, yeah, in this instance, we have an answer. But statistically, keep trying.
It's
what is the Jordan quote? He's missed 100% of your shots you don't take, or whatever.
Yeah. That's absolutely it. Well, I'm glad we got to talk about pumpkin for 30 minutes, Aaron, because I know it's your favorite flavor of the season. I can't wait to have the same conversation about peppermint and candy canes.
I'm learning more about myself every day.
Well, that feels like a great place to end it, Aaron. Bake fresh, bring joy, build community, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Yo, fresh out the oven, ready to run. What's hot this week at Jeff's Bagel Run? Jeff and Aaron bring the fun. It's the weekly run, let's get it. The weekly run.